ecstasy.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindminx Show. I am your favorite Mindminx, and we are live on location at the official sponsor of the Mindminx Show, Absalom, located at 223 DeGraw Avenue in Teaneck, New Jersey. And as always, behind the scenes, making everything happen is Mix Vibes Radio. Hello everybody. Hey. I have a super special guest today. Maurice, Luke, I can't even there's no preface. You are you. There's no, you don't need anything before your name. Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Let me just bring the mic a little bit closer to you.
Okay.
How you feeling today?
Feel great. Great after all that traffic.
Well, I thank you very much for taking the ride up here, especially on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I had to come up here and support.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to talk to Maurice, Luke. If no one is familiar yet, just raise your voice a little bit, or here, let me bring this down. Let's try that.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
I put my neck up like an ostrich.
There you go. All right, so I got to meet Maurice, Luke, through a uniquely coordinated event where you had a premiere for your reality show.
Yes.
It's All Good After 40.
Yes.
But I got to learn a few other things because you have a lot of other projects going on.
Yes.
Besides just that one.
Yes.
Talk about how you got, because you're an actor, music producer. How did it turn into movie production?
Well, I just believe that life is like a rose, a flower. And I started out being a musician in church. My dad's a pastor. And, I used to, look at, Ralph McDaniels. I used to see the videos and stuff like that. And me and my brother used to sneak because in my house, we couldn't listen to secular music. So,
Very religious.
Yes. So I was like, man, fuck this just being at church, man. I was like, yo, look at these dudes, Run DMC, man. They talking about they the king of rock. They ain't no higher. Suck MCs called me Psy and all of that. I was like, yo, man. So I was just I just loved the hip hop scene. And I was just like, man. And then I was like, yo, I told my brother, I said, yo, we got to make our name a household name. And so as a rose of flower, it just kept opening. I didn't know I could do certain things. And my brother went to California and, he started his acting career. And, he kind of inspired me with the acting. He inspired me with the acting. And the first thing I did was something called The Mo Show. It was about me being a music producer. Me, my wife, my friend, his name is Maurice as well. I met him when I was on tour with Foxy Brown, and he wrote the Mo Show. So
And what was it about?
It was about me being a producer, and that thing they have with the East Coast West Coast beef. But mine was more on the funniest side. Mm-hmm. And about me being a producer. And then I have a rival called Shy Brown, and he would come to my studio and clown me in front of my artists. And I had a grandmother. Her name was Miss Gifford, and she was very religious. She was just like what's her name off of Red Fox, Esther, and she's just very over the top. So I did that, and then I said, you know what? Okay, this is acting. Let me start, writing, and here I am.
Here you are. All right. So he glazes over it as if he didn't do some things. Like, here I am. You are, first of all right, so let's get back to, yes, okay, you were acting, and then you started doing some writing, but then you started your own production company.
Yes.
How did, you and Nita, his beautiful wife,
yes,
started this production company, but there was a specific reason why you started it. Why was it?
Well, I started it, I just believe that production, my father, God, he's all about production, and I was just like, yo, he's in me, and I'm like, yo, it's time to produce. I always say that, he invested time, he invested something in me, and he wants a return, so on his investment. So I was just like, yo, okay, let me do this, and it's nothing like telling your story through television, and not being barred or being censored by what people say that's not the norm or the norm. I was just like, yo, this is my life, this is what I see, and here, take it. And that's what I was about. Like, yo, production. One of the things that I'm working on an African movie. I'm working on a weight loss show. It's called The Big Project. I didn't tell you about the African movie because I can't say. Okay. Yeah.
A little bit of tidbit of exclusive.
Yeah. My name is Shabutu in the African movie because I wear shoes and boots at the same time. Yeah, and working on a comedy movie, and a couple of other things. I just can't say it.
All right, fine. Yeah. So we'll talk about what we did see you making. So how do you pick the projects that you're going to work on?
Well, I pick it by the person's spirit. Like, these young ladies came to me and they said, well, okay, I have a project, I want to do this and do that, and they kept asking me, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna give them a try, because it seemed like they had some type of fire in them. So I'm just like, okay, I'm on fire, they on fire, let's set this world on fire, let's do it. And I'm just like, okay. It was about, some sisters that had, that they were doing and whatever they are doing in their industry, in their type of environment, and making a difference. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And, we did it. And, excuse the
Don't worry about it. As another one. Don't worry about it. Well, I'm gonna talk about it. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a reality TV series that you produced. I did them too, so you're okay. And it is about four sisters that one of the sisters literally just in the middle of the night wakes up out of a dead sleep and was like, I have an idea.
Yes.
And then brought it to her three other sisters, which they weren't local. I think only one of them was local to the other, right? And then the rest are spread out across the U.S.
Yes.
And I think it was where she needed for them to be closer, something together.
Yes.
I don't know if there was a catalyst, if someone had passed away. No? Okay. No. So it was just that she...
their father passed away.
Okay.
Yeah, their father passed away.
So this need to do something together prompted them to combine their entrepreneurship businesses together, and they did. They reached out to you to see what could be done. Videoing it was great. You play the security guy in the office. It's just hysterical because all he does is watch. What were you watching or what were you reading? You're doing crossword puzzle? Is that what you're doing?
Crossword puzzle.
People could walk by. It was hysterical. I thought it was hysterical. And so, but these sisters were able to do it. You had some pretty big names on there. You had Megan Scarborough from Megan Sold It, who was also on a reality TV show on HGTV. Mm-hmm. She's a real estate agent local to New Jersey. And you also had, and I'm going to mess up her name, and I apologize, but she played in A Bronx Tale. Yes. She was the girl that Lilo was in love with. I forgot her name, though.
I forgot her name, too.
Thank God.
You know why? Because you just told me, you forgot, so I forgot, too.
Oh, thank God. In any case, so you had some big names. She was
Miss Hicks.
Yes. Terrell Hicks.
Yes.
Finally. So you had some pretty big names to come mentor these sisters. And how do you remember the timeline from when they got their guidance from Megan and Terrell to when they actually executed what they wanted? Do you remember how long that was?
No, I was handling some other things and working on another show, so I was like between shows. My wife is the one that
where's Nita when you need her?
Yeah, she was the one that was handling.
But they did it.
Yeah,
they did it.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I remember talking to you about you guys scouting out and finding locations to film a lot of these things, and you were even up in this area too.
Yes.
You went to the Pancake House. Yeah. I remember that.
A friend of mine, my friend Bobby, he owns the Pancake House. I remember when the Pancake House looked like Little White Castle in Jersey City. They started in Jersey City.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
And they redid it, and now he opened up in a couple of other spots. And I was like, man, I came up to that spot, and I was like, man, I gotta film something here. And he was like, sure. And we did it. It was fun. We didn't have a lot of time to film, but it was fun.
How did the sisters do with, as far as, yes, they actually lived this, but to video some of it, was it awkward for them? Because they're not actresses.
It was very awkward. They're not actresses at all. Yeah, it was awkward. It took a lot of time, more time than we really thought it was going to take.
Okay.
And but we were patient, and our thing is to encourage, no matter what, to encourage and be a director. And I always say a director is almost like a father. You direct, and when it's not correct, you keep directing until they get it right.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
But you also did have some acting coaches. I got to meet her at the premiere also. She was wonderful.
Crystal.
Yep.
Yes. She's excellent. Excellent.
So is there a particular reason why you chose to premiere it in Newark?
No, I really wanted to do it in Jersey City, but they didn't have a place that was big enough, and I was just like, you know what? Someone made a call, and they said, yeah, how about Newark? The Shaquille O'Neal did, and I was like, wow, yeah, let's you know what? Let's go out the box. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I was just like, okay, Newark it is. The door opened, and we walked in there.
It was a pretty great location.
Yes.
It was very spacious there.
Yeah. They had parking.
They had parking in Newark.
See?
In Newark, New Jersey.
Jersey City don't have parking.
Newark doesn't normally have parking.
I hope Mayor Phillip ain't listening to this.
Hi, everybody out there. I cannot reach my phone to even see it, so I'm just waving to everybody who's out there.
I'm waving too. Hello.
We are here with Maurice Luke, live with Mixed Vibes Radio. We did give a shout out to Castro Beats, right? Did I remember this time? Okay, thank God. I forgot to last time at the end, and I was like, oh my God. Wait, are you sure I did? All right, we're going to do it again just in case, because I don't think I did.
gotta do it as much as we can.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah, there you go.
You already know.
Exclusive beat that you're hearing is made exclusively for the Mindminx show by Castro Beats. So shout out to Castro Beats.
Castro Beats. That's what's up. I'm bopping to your beat.
Yeah. I want to talk about Uniquely Coordinated for a second, because she has become such a great friend to the Mindminx show. And was she working with you or with the sisters?
She was working with the sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has become such a great friend of the show. I've done a lot of events with her now, so that was just, I'm very grateful because I got to meet you and your wife and that whole, your assistant director and all that fun stuff. So before the premiere of the actual reality TV show that we got to see, you did some snippets of some projects that you're working on. Let's talk about one, well, that I touches close to home when I told you this, was the big project.
Yes.
What prompted that for you?
Wow. Family. I've been, battling with this, battling with weight for a long time. I remember I got out of high school and I started being around, bad boy, and I started touring, and I gained like 100 pounds in 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was just like, something has to change, and it took a long time. It took a long time, and I was at this cookout, my aunt's cookout, and someone that said, Maurice, you know what? You dress fly, but how do you really feel inside? You're a big guy, and I never had nobody ask me that. So she caught me off guard, and she made me think, and so I have a son too. His name is Joshua, and he said, Dad, you could be big in the industry, but you don't have to be big physically.
Aww.
And I was like, oh my goodness. So me and my wife, we were just talking about the weight, and she was like, how can I help you? And
that's very supportive, by the way.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I want to do a TV show on it. And we came up with the name, The Big Project, that believing inspires greatness. And it was a journey for me, and it was a journey, and I said, okay, how am I gonna lose weight? And I tried, and I asked God to send some people to help me, and every person that came to help me, it was just like, okay, Maurice, I'm here to help, and it seemed like it wasn't getting through. So I would try for like a month or two, and then I'll just fall off. And then the pandemic happened. And I was like, okay. I heard what was going on with people's immune systems. And so I said, you know what, Maurice, you must eat a certain type of way. So, every day for months, I ate nothing but salad and probably a 2-ounce piece of chicken. And I did that, and I didn't even know weight was falling off. But prior to that, I went through a lot of things in my childhood, and I had a lot of unforgiveness. One of the things, I was molested.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was molested, and I held a lot of things in. And people don't understand that weight just don't come from food. So mine was like emotional, it was mental.
It was filling a void.
Yeah. So the more I, how it started, I called the guy, because this is how it started. My mom and dad, they didn't get along. They used to fight. So my dad moved out, and it takes a village to raise a kid. but my dad wasn't there. So my mom had to go to work. We had this guy, he was like family. He came and he ended up
We can figure it out. You don't have to say it.
Yeah, he ended up, doing what he did, and this went on for a couple of years, and I had so much unforgiveness in me and so much hurt. And I remember going to school, and my mother used to take off work like 3 times a week. She was working at Merrill Lynch and taking off, and they're like, yo, something wrong with this boy. He need medicine. But the thing was, I didn't want to go home to deal with him. So, later on in life, how that came out is because my brother, he's an actor, and he starred in Antoine Fisher. His name is Derek Luke. Starred in Antoine Fisher, and that started the healing process, because I was able to tell the story, and I was able to tell a story. So, I started shedding. The more I tell the story, I started shedding weight, and it was easier mentally. It was easier physically to lose weight after, all the mental weight was starting to shed.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's a very poignant way to say it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people going through, like, they're going through problems, and people just don't understand. People don't know how to explain, or just, they hide. In my case, people hide behind a cross in church. You get into you go into a congregation, and you just blend in, you hide, hallelujah, praise God, this and that, and people are broken. They come broken, they leave broken. The same thing in the secular world. You go to your job, you can work at McDonald's, you can work for the city. Yo, what's up, brother? Construction. And you go there, and you're doing demolition, and you breaking up ground. And you're breaking ground, but people don't understand that you are broken inside. You done went through so much stuff. Some people are married, they're going through stuff, and my thing is with the big project is to provide a way of escape, healing for the nation. And it's not, you might see mine physically, yeah, it's a big guy, but how about somebody that's 110 pounds, and they're like the guy that went in the store and shot up the store. Yo, he was overweight. He was overweight, and that's what my project is about, dealing with people that's overweight. That's the difference.
So it's not just, showing workouts and food. There's also help that they're offering to fix whatever could possibly have created this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So that's important with that.
And how do you feel that it's working for you?
It's working. It's working great. It's fantastic to see people smile, to see people, they're able to have great marriages. They're able to forgive parents, forgive people. Even the guy that did that to me, I called him while my wife was on the phone. I said, I need you to listen to this.
Wow.
And I said, yo, bro, how you doing? Why did you do what you did? And then in my spirit says, Maurice, no, be gentle with him. And I'm like, I said, I forgive you and I love you. And he just was quiet. He was just quiet. So it's not a point of me asking why he did it. It's that, I believe that it was a learned behavior. Maybe it happened to him. And somebody did it to him, and he's lashing out on me. You know, so I had to forgive him and release it, because I was like, man, I don't want to. The more I hate and the more I felt the way I did, it was gonna be like, I'm wishing poison on him, but I'm the one that's drinking it. Yeah, I'm the one that's taking the poison. So, you know, once you forgive and you let it go, man, life is so much better, and you're able to love, and I'm able to call him like, yo, man, how you doing? I love you. And that.
Wow, that's a different take on that.
Yeah.
God bless you, man.
Yeah. It was a journey, but I had to do it. I had to do it to break a certain cycle. It's called a curse. How you break it is you do the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, you flip tables. You flip it.
Well, so then that leads me to this question. Being that we are in a day and age where everything is me, it's all about me and ego and pride, how are you able to push all that aside to be able to do that? To just say, I'm going to break this curse and do the opposite. I'm going to forgive him.
How do I do that?
Especially with how everyone is always it's about me. I need to be angry. I need to prove that, he needs to be punished. You didn't take that route.
Well, you know what? The thing about I, me,
Mm-hmm.
pride, and how you get rid of pride, you have to relax and understand that there's something out there bigger than you, and you didn't create it. You're just an instrument. You was chosen to be used. So how you take the I and the me out, and then be like, I'm, you take the scenario and say, okay, if I never had the opportunity, what will happen? And a lot of times that will calm the beast. And then you hang around. Like, my wife keeps me accountable, and she never embarrassed me in front of people if I'm doing something. She'll pull me to the side later, like, babe, that wasn't right. You're a man of integrity. And a lot of times she wouldn't even say the things that I did. She just speak the good things that I should be doing.
Good.
Yeah, so, a lot of times with things that go on in our life, you don't have to tell people that they're doing bad, or tell people that, you shouldn't be doing this. When we were born, we already know it's in us already. You already know. You have a conscience. You have a gut. And your gut feeling tells you, which is your spirit, tells you, okay, this is right, this is wrong. And you choose which way you want to go. And the way, is you know what? Even like the doctor, when you go to a doctor, he says, so-and-so, you're here for high blood pressure. Then he goes back and says, did your mother have it? Did your father have it? Your siblings got it? Your grandmother? So he understands patterns of a curse and how you break it. And I don't believe that, when the doctors say that, just because your parents had it, you have to have it. And just like, the situation that happened with my parents, I was just like, yo, I have to break this cycle. I ride around in Jersey City. I said, man, I can't be like this. I can't. You have to want to break the cycle. And how you break it is getting rid of pride. The more you humble yourself, the more, like Denzel said, the more you stay on your knees, stay closer to the floor, then God will raise you up. Let him do it. because he, we're a part of him. So, I just want to encourage people out there, it's not too late, for forgiveness, asking people to forgive you, even if they don't forgive you, long as you go to them and be like, you know what, I know I offended you, or if I didn't offend you, if I offended you, I apologize. And then let that apology take root and take ground inside their heart. You don't try nothing else. And, people like, oh, my enemies. And, you got to watch out for my enemies. But I remember Biggie, he was like, man, you got to keep your enemies closer to you. And, not to just watch they move, but I think your enemies is a reflection of you. Is a reflection of you. Your inner me. Yeah, it's like you're a magnet. You attract certain things that's inside of you. And when you attract certain things that's inside of you, when you start to look at it, it's like a mirror. You're looking at yourself.
Intriguing.
So when you conquer your enemy, your inner is
love
in me.
Love the play on the words, yo.
Yeah, it's always in me. So how you destroy your enemy is loving them. Love yourself. Conquer that. Conquer whatever you're going through, you conquer it through love. And I believe after you do that, then, we're here. We're here.
I love it. And you definitely exude this positive energy. You and your wife, I think, are such an amazing couple.
Thank you.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, but did you guys adopt little ones?
Yes, we adopted Matthew. He's Caucasian, and we in the process.
I didn't even say anything about that. I just think.
Yeah, he's Caucasian, and
he's got spunk, man.
Yeah, and isn't that something? Like, I took him to California, my brother's house, and he was taking pictures, and he put his hands in his pocket.
He's got spunk, this little. How old is he? What is he? Is he 2?
Going on 3.
Oh.
Yeah. And I just said, man, it's something when you take somebody outside of their environment and love them, and they adapt to your environment. It's like he's adapting to hip hop. He's adapted to hip hop.
That's not even an exaggeration when I tell you. When I saw him playing around and dancing in the theater, I was like, holy crap, he's got such spunk. That's the only word that I could come up with. And he looks so cute in that little outfit.
Wow.
But that's like not for I want to talk about that for a second, because not only so he's 2 going on 3, but you had one in a carrier.
Yes, his name is Felix, and he's I think he's from Thailand, or he's from China. He came in on a little boat. Yeah,
And you mentioned before, I don't know if it was on air, how old you are.
I'm 49 and I'll be 50 September 24th.
So with a 2, almost 3-year-old and a baby, weren't like, God bless you guys.
Yes. You heard that, Lord? God bless you guys.
I said it on air as loud as I could because my middle son gave me a granddaughter. And I'm like, dear Lord, you would not believe I've ever had children, because I did not know how to take care of a baby anymore. So God bless you.
Thank you. It was a little voice. People say, Maurice, you never look, you look like you're 29, 30, and you're in your early 30s. I thought, oh, thank you. And then I heard a voice inside of me. My spirit is just like, Maurice, you want to stay young? You hang around with young. The more young people you hang around, you're gonna adapt. You're gonna adapt to that environment. You're gonna stay in that soil. So I don't believe I'll ever get old physically. I believe that I'm gonna still be popping at 120.
There you go.
Yeah. So let's keep it popping. And Felix, I believe he's from Thailand or wherever he's from. We don't know where he's from, but he's here.
Now from here.
Yeah, he's from here. He's from here, and he had some challenges with his parents, and we took him in, and we're going through that process of adopting him. And to see him smile and laugh is a blessing. And then we had Brielle. She was with us, and her mom, got her situation right, and she has Brielle. Brielle went back with her mom.
Okay.
But Brielle is always at my house tearing up stuff 5 days a week. I hope you on here, Brielle. And yeah.
So are you guys foster parents?
We're fostering right now Felix, and I won't even say we just parents. We're just parents, and we just parents, and we just love kids. Me and my wife, in '93, we took over. We had a program in Jersey City. It was called TYC. It's called the Youth Club. And from then until now, we had about 7,000 youth come through our program.
Wow.
So we taught them about purpose. We taught them how to fly, and we call purpose a baby. And we always say, what is kicking inside of you? What is your baby saying? And how to deliver your baby. And we had a lot of young people. They're doing some great things in life, and we even we had like a 200 and something choir.
Wow.
I produced a song, and we let them write to the song, and we went to the McDonald's Gospel Fest, and we just I want to thank Jay-Z and my brother Derek, because they were, and Mr. Wayans. So let me tell you about them.
Wait, which Wayans? There's a bunch of them.
The father. The father. I met the father, and I told him what we were doing. We had to get the kids from Jersey City to Newark to the Prudential Center.
Mm-hmm.
So
so that's pretty recent, because Prudential Center hasn't been around that long.
Yeah. So he said, Maurice, meet me at this place in Jersey City, and I just don't want to say the name, and I met him at this place, and he gave me a stack, and he said, go get some buses and go get them rides. And we got there to the Prudential Center, and I had money left over, and I called him, and I said, well, we have this, I have the receipts. He said, man, if you don't use that money, buy them kids something to eat.
Aww.
And that was a blessing. And I had called my brother and told him, I said, we got all these kids, we need to take them to the Prudential Center from Jersey City. So he got in touch with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z sent, man, I got home one day, I had so many big boxes of clothes.
Oh.
And the kids had fresh gear to go to the Gospel Fest, and we came in second place that year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any of your kids come up to you and be like, hey, this is what I've been doing since?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And they tell me how old they are, but like, oh my God, they in their 30s, and I'm like, man, whew. They said, well, you still look young. I said, I still feel young. Yeah.
My mom used to say, tell them that they're getting older, not me.
I hear that. Right. You're right.
So you guys have been doing philanthropic work for your community for a very long time.
A long time.
Because if they're in their third, that's over at least 2 decades.
Yes.
So have you always felt like this was a calling for you?
No. I couldn't stand kids at first.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I ride through Jersey City, and I was like, man, these kids are bananas. They banana, and that was 20 something years ago. And it's it's different now. It's just like they're on a way. This is like another level now. So back then, you know, I would ride through Jersey City and these kids would be on the corners, and you know what? God was like, Maurice, you keep complaining about them, but I'm gonna use you to now to like deliver them out of what they're in. So you know, I was touring with Foxy. I was doing some stuff with 112, and I was always at Bad Boy.
112. You haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, and I was, you know, just doing my thing on the road, and you know, some things happened and it dried up. And I'm like, yo, what in the heck happened? And somebody contacted me and said, Maurice, you know, I have a position at this school. I want you to come to be a music teacher. I'm like, yo, I'm a music producer. I'm not teaching no young people. That's not for me. I'm about to go on the road. I'm about to do something. I'm not doing that. And the more I was stubborn, things dried up in my life. So I ended up doing it. I was a music teacher for 10 years. And yeah, the kids, they start calling me Brother Mo. Because I was like, you know, what's that, Sister Act? I was like Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, I became like almost like a spiritual advisor, father figure to so many kids, uncle, father. And some kids used to call me sometime like 1 a.m. in the morning. They'd be like, I don't have nothing to eat. So I would go to a store, buy them food, and you know, me and my wife would sometimes teach these kids about, you know, let me say how to say it right. Not having abstinence. Yeah. So we would teach them, and I remember some kids call us, yo, I'm feeling this type of way, this and that. Me and my wife would talk to them, and we would take them to, never forget, the VIP diner. We would sit with them, and yeah, we would sit with them just so we could reinforce love and letting them know that they didn't have to give up their bodies to be loved. And you know, a lot of the parents back then, they were going through some situations. They had to work. Some was on drugs. Some was prostituting. You know, so you know, I stepped in as whatever I needed to step in, and it got overwhelming to me. It got very overwhelming, and
sure, of course.
You know, I just said, man, yo, this is it. And when I said this is it, the school ended up closing down. So we just kept on doing it. And you know,
on your guys' own.
On our own.
Wow.
On our own, and you know, just mentoring young people all through our life. So having our kids now, we have Felix and Matthew and Brielle. It's kind of easy because I know that was our
You've been
call.
doing this
We've been doing it. You know, it was something like, you know, in the Bible, it was like David and Goliath. You know, David was the one that he was like the brother that, you know, he had nothing going on. And all along, you know, he was the one that was beating lions up and taking sheeps out of the bears' mouths. And when it came to fight, it was just like the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. He was doing the car, and he didn't understand that, you know, all that work he was doing, that waxing off, waxing on, it was for purpose, for later, so you will be able to win the fight. So, you know, I believe that we all have a purpose, and we have to find, everyone that's listening has to find out why they're here. You know, you have some type of super inside of you, and you have to find out why you're here. So after you find out why you're here and solve a problem, I'm telling you, the world is going to be a better place. It's going to be a better place. And I'm just here to encourage everyone to, find out why you're here. And it's called purpose. Purpose.
Purpose.
Yeah, purpose.
Well, there's no other thing that we could possibly follow that with. So I'm going to say thank you so much for coming in and speaking to me about this. Is really, really deep conversation. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad that I was able to make it through that George Washington Bridge traffic.
Well, don't worry. You don't have to. Going back is not going to be as hard.
Yeah, I started seeing sheep on the road.
As long as you didn't see any turkeys, you're good.
Yeah, no turkeys. I would got out there and robbed that turkey. Yeah.
So where can everybody find you if they want to see what projects you're working on, what's coming out for Luke and Luke Productions?
You can go on my page, Maurice Luke, Maurice, Luke, Luke. And I'm always posting all the time. I'm always posting. And I give my number out all the time.
Yes, he does. I thought he was joking, by the way.
give
I
my
have this
number
man's
out.
number. He does.
I'm
But now I don't
telling
feel
you.
special anymore.
Okay, I'm going to give you the California number.
Okay.
But my number is 201-491-9850. And I had this number for 23 years. And I promise you I will never get rid of it. Never. I'm living to 120 and I will have it to 120. I'm telling you. Yeah. I always want people to have access to me in a certain way, and just to encourage, or if I can't answer the phone, I'm gonna get you to answer the phone and say something to them. But yeah, definitely.
That's cool. I do. I remember I sent you a message on Instagram and you didn't respond right away. And I didn't mind. I know how much you have going on. But when you did respond, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't see this till days later. Call me. And you gave me your number again. And I was like, wow.
Call me. You know that song, you could call Tyrone. Call me. Call me. They call me Uncle Mo. They call me Moluki. Just call me. Yeah, I'm here for you.
Well, good luck on all of your projects that you have going on. I look forward to. I think I said I wanted to put my resume in the project for the big project because I'm also a weight loss surgery.
Wow.
What would you call us? What are we? Patients? What are we? Is that what you would call us? Weight loss surgery survivor. Are we survivors?
Wow.
They have a name for that.
Right? Don't they?
It's like alumni, something like that.
Oh, okay.
They call it, yeah. It's like some weird. They have.
Same, mine too. So we're on the same page. But I've struggled because this past year I've gained like 40 pounds back of it. So I'm trying. But I love the projects that you have going on.
Yeah.
But thank you again for coming out. Did I forget anybody shout outs? I think we did everything. Hi, Nita. I wish you were here. All right, so thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being on. It's a brand new week, everyone, so go own it and mind your favorite minx and join us next time.
Holla.
Oh, Castro Beats. Yes, I told you we did that. Castro Beats exclusive beats that you hear is exclusive to our show by Castro Beats. So thank you, everybody. Have a great week.